Armel Castellan is an extreme heat services technical advisor at the World Meteorological Organization. He joins me now live from Geneva. Armel, thanks for taking the time to speak to us. The last major heat wave really on this level was back in 2003 when it caused an estimated 80,000 deaths across Europe. What are your thoughts today? Do you think that this one will be as deadly?
Yeah, it's very early days to say that, but it is certainly, record-breaking, as you've mentioned over this discussion so far. It's something that we need to prepare more for. I mean, this summer is one of the coolest summers that we're going to face over our lifetimes and for our children's lifetimes. So it's definitely time to consider how serious of a threat it is to people's health and also to the environment around us.
Well, let's talk first about who exactly is most at risk from this extreme heat and why.
Well, there's a laundry list of vulnerable populations, from the youngest to the oldest, the most frail, pregnant women, those with cardiovascular diseases or medical conditions are all susceptible to, whether it's their medications interacting with the heat or just being unable to really produce the sweat to cool off naturally. Those are all part of the escalating symptoms that can bring about, such a large portion of the population, also including people who are working outside and are not getting enough respite from the intense heat during their workday.
Right. And I mean, you mentioned the evening temperatures. I mean, this heat wave has seen high temperatures, not just during the day, but also record temperatures at night. How unusual and how dangerous are these high overnight temperatures?
That's exactly it. So overnight temperatures have actually been rising faster than daytime highs, which get, of course, all of the attention when, places are starting to hit these 44s, 46s degrees Celsius, that is during the day. But overnight, if you're still really quite warm, because an atmosphere that has gone through warming can hold more moisture, and that moisture keeps those temperatures like a blanket higher during the night. And that's when we need respite. That's when we need to be able to recover. We can handle, 6-8 hours of heat during the day. If we get the respite during the night, then we can recover and hydrate and make it through repeated cycles like this. But when the overnight lows are too high, they start to bake, people's homes. This is where they live. So it's not just an outdoor temperature type of event, it's actually an indoor temperature phenomena just as much. And of course, that's where we sleep at night, most of us, and that's where, a lot of people are going to suffer.
Especially here in Europe, of course, where there is so little air conditioning as opposed to other parts of the world. What about more long-term risks, things like disrupting food and water services or blackouts like we've seen today in northern France?
That's exactly right. This is not an isolated type of event that only affects health directly. It affects health for humans and also animals, and then a litany of other sectors indirectly. So blackouts, brownouts are a perfect example of, the infrastructure, transmission lines, and, the way we create power when it's not through sustainable sources can be affected and are affected both in the creation of that energy and also the transmission. So that's a huge part of how we're going to see a trickle-down effect of such long duration, intense heat waves affecting any part of the world for that matter, affecting people's lives, livelihoods, and of course, this is the kind of thing that's complex in the sense that, from a heat wave like this, and we saw one in late May, as you will remember in Europe as well, we start to see a drought signal that's amplified. From that, we see wildfire concerns raised extremely high when humidity is low, temperatures are high, and then suddenly you start to get some wind into the equation. Wildfires can have dramatic consequences, both for people who are in the way of the fire, but also those who are going to breathe in the fine particulate known as smoke, those incredibly affecting people's lives and, the infrastructure that we require to stay, afloat in those kinds of circumstances. thinking about the hospitals and all the asthmatics who are going to, be in that kind of care is going to really mushroom this kind of an event to being extremely multi-sectoral.
Armel, thank you so much for that. Armel Castellan, an Extreme Heat Services Technical Advisor at the World Meteorological Organization from Geneva. Thank you.